You cannot forcing women to be your wife.
Your whole religion forces women. What does it mean in the Quran to say a man can take what his right hand possesses? He can take women as sex slaves. Sex slavery is vile, and your religion supports that. So don't ask me to be civilized. You follow a religion which is uncivilized. Approximately 50-50.
What state is that? Where is that?
The population of men and the population of women on the earth is approximately 50-50.
Wrong source. That's wrong source.
Oh, wrong source! Hey, sunshine, listen to this. Listen to this. If there are 4 times as many women as men on the earth, your religion may have a point. If there are 4 times as many women as men on the earth, your position that men can have 4 wives can have some justification.
Why can't you have 4, 5, 10 wives?
But your religion is false. You have no justification. You talk about the prison population.
Many wives. Why can't you?
The prison population.
Are you jealous?
That's pathetic.
Are you jealous?
It's irrelevant.
Are you married?
The fact is, if there are 4 times as many women in the population, I said, if there are, I'm saying it, if there are 4 times as many women in the population as men, then you have a point as to why men should have 4 wives. But there are not. Therefore, your religion is false, because you're setting up a situation that doesn't allow for all men to have a wife.
Marry a woman. Okay, let's have like civilized.
You deprive some men from having a wife.
Person like you are civilized person. Yes, you are civilized person. Yeah, you can say yourself.
I've described your religion, which says a man can have 4 wives and many concubines, that is sex slaves. Sex slavery is vile, and your religion supports that. So don't ask me to be civilized. You follow a religion which is uncivilized. So you can speak, but deal logically. Not talking about prison populations.
Can you let me?
Go.
Okay, imagine if someone marries someone, she cannot have a baby for some reason, for medical reason, and this man he wants a baby. What he has to do in this case?
Yeah.
Can you telling me I married someone, she cannot deliver a baby for some septic, for many different reasons, and I want to have a baby. What I have to do?
Here's what you do. God says we are one forever in sickness and in health.
Yes. What
You live with her as your wife. You don't get rid of her.
I need a baby.
You don't need a baby. You don't need a
I
baby.
need a baby.
What are you talking about? You need a baby.
For me, I need a baby.
What do you mean you need a baby?
I need a son. I need a
Are you sick without a baby?
Yes, I need a baby. I need it.
There's a difference between need.
I need it. What you going to
Do you know what need means?
You don't have answer. You see, you don't have an answer.
You don't know what need means.
Stop now. Stop now. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer.
You're an animal. You're like an animal.
I try to explain.
You're like an animal.
Do you have kids?
You don't need a baby.
Why I don't need baby? Why you don't need kids?
How do you need a baby? You're going to die without a baby? Are you going to starve without a baby?
I make the decision for myself, sir.
Oh, you want a baby then?
I need kids.
You want a baby?
I need kids.
Do you know the difference between need and want? Do you know the difference?
You tell me, sir.
Want is when you want, you have a wish for something.
Okay.
Need is when without it you will suffer physically
Okay.
or mentally.
Okay. If you, I think, according to this definition, needs, kids is your need, because you need someone to helping you when you get older. You need someone to help you and your wife when you get older. You need someone to pass your inheritance.
You don't understand the term need then.
That's
You
his
don't.
need.
You don't need.
When I am
You don't need a
78
son.
years old,
You
who's
said.
going to look after me?
You said a child.
Who's
You
going to
don't.
look after me?
There are
When I'm
people.
80 or
Your
90,
relatives. Those who do have
They're
children
busy. They have their own stuff. They're busy.
in your family. Well,
They are
I tell you what.
busy. They are busy.
In our
They are
way,
busy.
in
They are
our.
busy.
Will you listen?
kids,
Will you
they're
listen?
kids.
Will you listen?
No, I am listening.
Well, listen then. Listen then.
Listen.
In
I have a point.
our communities,
I got a point.
I heard your point, and I'm responding to your point.
My family,
I'm
my
responding
relatives.
to your point.
No,
Now
I'm not
listen.
saying In the Islam,
Now listen.
In the Islam, let me telling you, in the Islam, I made a point. I make my point. Okay,
I
said
heard it.
As I raised my kids when they was young, they couldn't know what's right, what is wrong. No, they cannot feed themselves. I feed them. I look after them. They will look after me back when I'm in certain age. That's what our certain health. That's what I'm talking about. The second thing is you're talking about 4 wives. God told us.
No, one at a time. One at a time.
Okay.
Right.
I was
A
not-
person. There are many people, even in your Islamic countries,
Yes.
who live and die without children.
Yes.
They just do.
Yes.
They don't. They're not necessarily on the street starving.
They suffer.
They have a
They
wider
suffer.
family.
They suffer, yeah.
They have a
They
wider
suffer.
family
They suffer.
that gives them
They suffer.
support.
They
All
suffer.
cultures have
We live in a
this.
materialistic life
All
now.
cultures have
Okay,
this.
we live in a
So that means you do not need a child. You want a child. You want a child. That's what you're saying. You want a child.
to take your
Now,
point of view.
look at it the other way. Look
I
at it the
have
other
my
way.
point
A
of
woman.
view.
What about a
We're talking
woman?
about religion.
What about a woman marries you and you've got inferior sperm?
She has the option to keep me. Listen to me. Listen.
Yeah. Now go on.
Listen,
Now what?
one-
Explain what she says.
She has the options.
Yeah.
To divorce me.
Yeah.
To find another husband.
Yeah.
To make her have a kid.
Right.
She has the option.
Right.
And if I cannot deliver a baby myself,
Right.
she can divorce
Right.
me and find the husband
Right.
to satisfy her need to have a family.
Right.
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
This is anyway. We're going to move from this point. Let's go for the first point.
Yeah.
You was talking about.
The first point doesn't work
I agree with
because
you.
there's a wider community that can look after you when you're older.
Do you
We do
think-
that in all
okay,
societies.
Okay, let's go back to this.
Now go to the next
Do you
point.
think the wider community is going to look after you as much as your own kids?
Do you know what kids can do to
I'm
parents?
asking you. I know. I don't talk about the exception.
What are you looking at?
I'm not
The
talking
wider
about the
family,
exception.
the extended family,
I'm talking about the
the extended
exception.
family will.
I'm not talking about the exception. I'm talking about the general rules. Sir,
In Christian
don't think
society, yes.
The way you speak.
In Christian
the way you
society,
speak-
yes.
the way
That's
you
my
speak
answer.
Doesn't make sense. You
In
didn't have a
Christian society,
foundation.
yes.
You don't have a foundation. By telling me you have to do this way, that is wrong. You shouldn't tell me you have to do this way. You can tell me this is another way. Up to you to choose this one, to choose this one. Because we live in a democratic society, all right? So you have the option to choose. We have this in the Islam. So please don't say Islam forcing men. Islam
It is
doesn't force
forcing
men.
women. It's forcing women into a
No,
way
you
of
don't
life
forcing
which
women.
makes them
No,
things.
No, you are wrong, sir. Have you been to any Arab country or any Muslim country?
Yes.
Where? Which country do you go to?
I went to Jerusalem and different parts of Israel.
Jerusalem is not an Arab country at the moment. It's Israel.
It's got Arab
Thank
culture.
you. Okay, you went to Turkey. You cannot forcing women to be your wife. If
Your
you
whole
marry
religion
another one, she
forces
can
women.
divorce you.
Your whole religion forces women into a certain way of life.
To do what?
For example, so firstly,
To do what?
you can marry young girls.
No,
You can marry young
no,
girls.
no,
They're
no,
forced
no,
into
no,
it.
no,
In
no,
Afghanistan, it happens all the time.
It is
And in
not-
other
it
Islamic
doesn't mean
countries.
This is the right thing.
How can it not be the right thing by Islam when your whole religion begins with forcing young girls
You
into
don't
marriage?
forcing anyone.
How can girls go into marriage without being forced?
When they forcing
What
someone-
choice do they have?
Can I say something? Can I say something or not? Can I say something?
I'm listening.
Can I say something? You're talking about forcing someone to marry someone. This is nothing, it's not in the Islam to force someone, a man, you can force a man as well, a man or a woman to marry certain one. Okay? We don't have this in the Islam. People doing that for too many different reasons.
Tell me about girls then, young
Okay,
girls.
girls, they do this one because sometimes in a family, they're a rich family and they have lands and stuff like that, and they want to keep the money in the house. They need to keep the money in the family. That's why they're forcing here or him to marry someone. It's not because of the Islam ordered them to do so. Give me one verse in the Quran saying you are allowed to force your to force your girl to marry a certain one. There is no such a thing.
You're not a Quran only Muslim, are you?
Sorry?
You're not a Quran only Muslim. You believe in the Hadith, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah. So the traditions come down to you from the founders of your religion, that you basically young girls can marry older men. That means a young girl doesn't have the power to make a decision for herself. So if you're allowing child marriage, then that means you're.
She has to accept her
How-
husband.
How on earth can a child
She has.
have power to exercise free will?
She has to.
How can she have free will when her family controls her life? No child has free will. The very nature of a child,
What is the definition of a child?
you can marry a child of 6 or 9.
In Arab country nowadays, no. That's not right. That's not
The
right.
founder of
In which
Islam
country-
did this,
in which
and he's your model.
Muslim country, you can marry a 6-year-old. Are you telling me? Just
This is the founding of your religion.
where? In which?
Your religion was founded on this basis.
That's not.
And you force women into marriage, you force women into concubinage. into sex slavery. That's part of your religion.
I can give you this text from different religion, by the way.
Tell me about your religion when it says a man can have sex slaves for warfare.
Sorry?
Your religion says a man can take women and force them into his concubines in marriage. What does it mean in the Quran that a man can have what his right hand possesses? What does it mean in the Quran to say a man can take what his right hand possesses? He can take women as sex slaves. What's it mean? A sex slave is a woman who's forced to have sex with you.
That's not force. You cannot force anyone.
You take a woman who's the husband of someone you've defeated in battle, and you make her your sex slave and put it in your harem.
There is no such thing called that.
What is going on in Islam over 1400 years when this is happening again and again?
The way you interpret things is the
Okay, in the hadith it said Muslims came to Muhammad and said, Muslims came to Muhammad in a hadith it said, they came to him and said, look, we've been in battle and there are these women. Now, we haven't touched them because they've got husbands, but we've defeated them and we're not with our wives. What can we do? And Muhammad said, don't worry, you can take them. They're yours. And so they had sex with them. They took the women who were the wives of men who they defeated in battle. Don't be clever. Obviously I can't. You all Muslims always do this. This is one of your hadith and it's well known, and Muslims do not deny, except you, that men had sex slaves in Islam. It's right there from the beginning, and it's traditional in Islam to have a harem of women in addition to the 4 wives.
I don't think the way you're interpreting is right, sir. I don't think.
Okay, let's put that to one side. Are you saying then that if I'm right, Islam is evil?
No, Islam is not evil.
So even if I'm right, Islam is not evil?
You're not right.
No, I'm saying, no, I agree.
Islam is not evil.
Islam is good because I'm wrong.
Islam is not
But if a religion teaches that, is it evil?
Sorry?
If a religion teaches that, is it evil?
You're interpreting.
No, I'm not talking about Islam now. I'm saying any religion which teaches you can take women as sex slaves, is it evil?
The way you interpret.
I'm not interpreting. I'm asking you as a general question.
I told you.
Any religion which says
How many
you
religion? How many?
Well, you let me finish my question.
But let me telling you. How
Finish
many
my question
religions is
first.
this world? How many religions?
Finish my question
How
first.
many religions is this world?
Let me finish my question first.
Finish your question.
Yeah. Any religion, no names given, any religion,
Okay.
which says a man can take a sex slave of the husband whom he defeats in battle, would such a religion be evil?
Can you show me this?
I'm asking a hypothetical question.
Okay, no. I'm not going to answer hypothetical.
Why not?
Because I want an evidence.
I tell why you're not, because you know I'm right.
No,
It's Islam,
I don't think
and you know it's evil.
Okay, why are
You
you-
don't want to criticize Islam,
No.
and you would accept it once you discover that I'm right. You'll say
you're
that's
not
all right,
right. You're
because
not right.
Islam creates this view in people.
Right, sir.
You support evil.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
It's obvious from the way you wouldn't answer me.
Who you support then? Who you support?
Tell me also, slavery. Do you support slavery?
Of course not.
It's Islam.
No. It's never.
Islam supports slavery.
It's never happened. It's never exist. It's never happened. Where you get this from?
I admire you. The dream world you live in is amazing.
It's dream world.
Islam never supported slavery. The Islam never supported slavery. I mean,
You're the one.
everybody supported slavery.
You're the one.
I love
It's
this.
all the status.
You say Islam never supported slavery.
Yes,
Never.
Of course, yes.
Wow.
Show me. Show me.
It's all right.
Even
Show
Christianity
me.
supported slavery.
Yeah, we've even supported slavery.
Roman Catholic, the British, the enslavement.
We all did. Africans enslaved Africans.
Not Islam. I'm
So why
sorry.
you blame
Not
Islam?
Islam.
Blame even the Catholic.
Because Islam believes in slavery today.
No. Where?
Africans
Where?
sold Africans to white people. White men never went into the African interior. Africans were selling Africans to Africans long before whites came. And then when whites came, they naturally started selling blacks to blacks to whites. Now, what whites did, and this is not saying whites are lovely, but because of Christianity, they're the only civilization on earth that ever abolished slavery. That's what's great about the whites. One of the few things, right?
No,
But
it's
it's,
enslaved 400 years, they enslaved people.
yeah, but Africans were always enslaving each other.
Yeah.
Even in 20th century.
The Africans were enslaving each other forever, and the Muslims were enslaving Africans for 1,000 years before the white people went to Africa.
When does that happen?
And the whites, when the white people enslaved Africans, it was for work. The Muslims enslaved Africans for work and for sex. the white people never mutilated the Africans. The Muslims cut off the penises and the testicles of the Africans. That's why in America you have huge populations of men descended from Africans today. In Arabia, hardly any. Do you understand? Blacks were taken in huge numbers to Arabia. There's hardly any blacks in Arabia today, but there's millions in America. Why is that? Where did all the descendants of the blacks who went to Arabia go? They didn't breed because they were castrated. I know you're living in your dream world.